So first thing you're going to need is a wig cap. But I take my needle through the wefts, like in between where the fold is on the end. I went through the both of them. And then I sew them down. Make sure the end is really tacked in and just keep sewing. I'm doing the under kind of like lock stitch. So every stitch will be secured. If one falls, there's still enough locks in the stitch to prevent it from coming out your head or off the weave or off the wig cap. I'm going to continue this method all the way through up until I get to like the top. But I really just want you to see the stitching and what type of stitching you should expect when you get a wig. There is no way that you should see loops. What I've been seeing when I'm cutting or styling someone's wig, I'll see loops and it just looks so loose, like it's about to come off your head right now. When I saw that, I figured, okay, this person had to pay like, you know, something cheap. Like you get what you pay for. But in this case, she did not get what she paid for, in my opinion. So basically, the point of this video is for you to know what you should expect, if not better. This is the minimum of what you should expect when you get your wigs made. There is no way that the stitch should be looped around. Like, I can't even describe what I mean. It was just like really just, if one part of that thread cut, the whole track. Sorry, every time I do a voiceover, I yawn. But if one part of that track got loose, the whole thing would come off. So I'm doing the same method all the way throughout. And basically, that's what I wanted you to see. But I'm going to continue. And I also am doing the flip over method. Not Ivy's flip over method. Just flipping the track over. I know she has a whole video on how she, do the flip over method. So I might want to change that verbiage. But for now, I'm flipping my tracks back and forth, not cutting one. For one, I don't cut tracks. I can't emphasize on that enough. So don't worry. Only time we cut tracks is if it's for a quick weave and you plan to get rid of the hair. So yeah, but continuing with that same method, I'm not doing anything different. Just being consistent with my stitching, basically. One thing I do want you to see is I'm making a U shape. So once I got the back sewed in like I wanted, I then began to make a U shape around the head, because I like all my weave to be in the back of my head and like too far behind my ears. That's another mistake that I saw wrong with her wig. Her weave was sewn, but it was so heavy in the front. It's like certain things you got to know from experience. And if you put majority of the weave in the front, or if you put the weave, sorry. If you put the weave on evenly, like the same density all around, in the front, nobody wants all that hair like that in the front of their head. Secondly, it's going to be too heavy in the front and you're not going to have any It's not going to move. Like, you're not going to have any body. So you don't want to put too much hair in the front. I maybe have 3 tracks in the front of my head and 2 closures. I mean, not 2 closures and 1 closure. And I'm sewing down the sides of my closure first, as you can see. And I'm going to leave the back for me to sew later. But I did want to go ahead and take that down because I'm getting close to the sides. So those T-nails, they really come in handy. And I didn't think that I was going to be able to find them. I thought I would have to go to like Joann's Fabric or something like that. But they had them right there in the beauty supply, which was great because I did not have to go looking for anything. And just sew the other side down. And even here, I'm still using the same stitching method. I thought for a second that I was going to do a really tight stitch, but the lock stitch is really good. So I continue to use that method. I remember when I didn't know how to do it, and when I learned, I was like, oh, this is great. Now, I used to do the loop stitch before, when I first started doing sew-ins, and it would take me hours. I mean, hours to sew, because I would go around and around and around and around and around, like really close. No locks, nothing, just around, round, round, like really close to each other. And I started looking at other people's work like, why aren't they doing theirs as close? And then I saw that you could go like an inch apart as long as you lock it. And I've stuck with this method ever since. It's faster and it's actually more secure than the just going around in a circle, like around and around and around. As soon as one of those snap or pull on too tight, the whole thing is loose. So I don't like that. It's upsetting to see someone do some crap like that. But now the wig is complete, and I'm going to cut that cap out. Cut that cap out. Be careful. I did not have my shears. I was actually using scissors. It was rather difficult for me because I don't cut with something that big on a regular basis, especially in a hair. But I was at home and my shears were at work, so I just didn't even think about it. And I had to use what I had. So I cut it with some shears, or with some scissors, not shears. And then where I cut the cap, I went and reinforced it and sewed it down just to make sure everything was nice and secure, because it took forever. So we don't have to go over anything. Now I'm going to cut the lace, and that's going to be just as difficult as cutting the wig or cutting the cap from underneath the wig, because the scissors were so big. Oh my Lord. You want to get some small scissors when you're doing this, because it's so easy for you to cut your baby hairs or not get close enough. And again, my shears were at work, so I had to do what I could do. But now I had to go back and kind of touch it up because of what I was using. So make sure you have some hair scissors. But this is the finished look, and I really do enjoy it. I'm still wearing this hair now, and I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the styling of this wig. I'm going to wand curl it, or I'm going to do some curls in it.